Anyone who loves Peppa knows she'll grow up and keep having fun with us. But do you really know the whole story of the show so far? And what's waiting for our main character in the future? The parents. Daddy Pig and Mummy Pig met when they were just kids. Of course, back then they weren't dating yet. They were way too young. But you could definitely say they've been together forever. We see this in the episode Time Capsule, when Madame Gazelle shows a video of the two of them in the classroom making a little film to put inside the capsule that would be buried in the schoolyard. There's also the episode School Star, when Mummy Pig remembers the day Madame Gazelle gave her a sticker for a beautiful drawing. In that scene, we see that Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig already loved spending time together. Could their love have started back then? It's almost certain. And honestly, it's adorable, isn't it? Do you think they already knew they'd one day have 3 kids who'd become famous all around the world? That's what we'll find out in today's video, so get comfy and come with us, because another Cinewave is about to start. Birth. From what everyone knows about Peppa's world, both the main character and George were born before the show even began, unlike Evie, who came later. But we can guess that Peppa was probably born around the year 2000. That's because Peppa is 4 years old and the show first aired in 2004. But before all that, there's the story told in the episode Olden Days. That's the day Susie went over to Peppa's house and showed her a picture of herself as a baby. Throughout that day, Peppa learns about what her first days were like in their new house, the one she lives in now. And that already reveals something important. Daddy Pig says they moved there from somewhere else, which means Peppa wasn't born in the house we know today. Daddy Pig and Mummy Pig probably lived with Grandpa and Granny Pig before they had enough money to buy a place of their own. Back then, Peppa was only a few months old. A few years went by, and when Peppa turned 2, George was born. Around that time, Grandpa and Granny Pig gave the little pig his favorite toy, Mr. Dinosaur. The funny thing is that Daddy Pig also loved dinosaurs as a kid. As we see in Mummy Pig's flashback, her future husband loved drawing those creatures, Uncle and Aunt. But even before Peppa was born, another little piglet came into the world. The first baby in the pig family, Cousin Chloe, the daughter of Uncle and Aunt Pig. We also know that's why Daddy Pig's brother got married first. And that probably happened around 1995, the year Cousin Chloe was born. Since the series started in 2004, that means Chloe spent at least 5 years as the only little pig in the family. For about 2 more years, it was just her and Peppa as the girls in the group, until George was born, then baby Alexander, and now we have Evie, the 5th piglet in the family. As everyone knows, time never passes in Peppa's universe, but if you'd like to do the math, here's the order. First comes Chloe, who's 9 years old, then Peppa, who's 4, then George, who's 2, baby Alexander, who's only a few months old, and finally Evie Pig, who's a newborn. 2004. Now we've reached 2004, the year the show officially begins. In the very first episode, we meet Peppa and George. It's worth remembering that by this point, everything we've mentioned so far has already happened. Everything except the births of baby Alexander and Evie. In episode 1, Peppa and George want to go outside and jump in muddy puddles, but they end up getting super dirty, completely covered in mud. A perfect way to show how much pigs love playing in it. In episode 2, we see the story of how George lost Mr. Dinosaur, the same toy he got from his grandparents 2 years earlier. The first season has a lot going on. For example, George's first day of school when he joins Madame Gazelle's class. That day, Peppa didn't want her brother going to the same school as her, but in the end, she realized learning with him was actually a great idea, since he's so much fun. Would you like to study with Peppa and George? Comment number pig so we can meet you. The attic. It was in season 2 that we learned everything about the pig family's attic, when Grandpa Pig shows some things from the past. He shows his ship-in-a-bottle collection, the party hats Granny Pig used to wear when she was younger, and even the family's old record player. Maybe Grandpa and Granny Pig loved going out dancing. We also found out that Mummy Pig really loved to dance. In the episode Musical Instruments, we see a continuation of that story. That Mummy Pig used to play the violin when she was little, meaning she's always loved music. One sad thing about that episode is what's missing. Daddy Pig still hasn't appeared alongside his own parents, meaning we've never really seen his childhood or backstory. Aunt Dottie. Around the same time as the attic episode, we also learned about Aunt Dottie, a character who lives far away from the pig family. But in the episode Sparkly Wheels Horse, the show never actually explains whose side of the family she's from. She could be from Daddy Pig's family or Mummy Pig's, but what no one expected was that she'd turn out to be Mummy Pig's sister. Wait, what? The truth is that for many years, people thought Dottie was an aunt on one of Peppa's parents' sides, not an actual sibling. We didn't even realize she was young. But this is where things become clear. Aunt Dottie left home very early in life. Fans know this from Mummy Pig's flashbacks that we've already seen. There's no trace of Aunt Dottie in Grandpa and Granny Pig's house. They never even mention her, so it's obvious she left home when she was still young. The show still hasn't revealed why she left, but it was probably due to some big family fight. When Dottie finally showed up years later, she did it without warning anyone, almost like she didn't want to give them time to make up an excuse not to welcome her. But of course, that's just a theory. The book. In season 5 of the show, we finally find out what super important job Mummy Pig was doing on her computer. This is a key detail in the Pig family story, because ever since season 1, Peppa's mom was always shown typing away in her office. We never knew what she was working on, and in the end, it turned out to be a book about a funny onion. But things went completely wrong, because on the very day Mummy Pig finished writing, George and Peppa opened the chicken game on her computer before she could save her work. The result? Mummy Pig's book ended up with pages full of random numbers instead of the story's text. This moment became a big deal in the Pig family's history, because Mummy Pig had been working on that book for 5 whole seasons, and in the end, no one ever got to read it. Maybe that's why she's still working on the computer today. Could it be another book? The future. The most important episode of Peppa Pig Season 6 is In the Future, when Peppa and Susie Sheep tell us what their lives will be like when they're all grown up. Peppa says that when she grows up, she's going to work with important things on the computer. But in her imagination, it's nothing like what Mummy Pig does when she writes books. Peppa imagines herself gaming on her computer, and that already tells us everything we need to know. The little pig dreams of becoming a gamer. In other words, Peppa wants to do something that a lot of people love: live stream online games. And that's pretty cool, right? She also says that when she's an adult, she's going to marry Pedro Pony. And everyone kind of already knew that was going to happen, since Peppa has made it clear that she really likes him. Well, she actually feels something deeper than just friendship. But that's a story for the future. Don't forget, subscribing is the easiest way to make sure you never miss any of our videos. The announcement. Between seasons 7 and 8, the Pig family's story continues with 2 big moments. The first was when Aunt Dottie showed up at Peppa's house to celebrate Thanksgiving. But nothing was bigger than the announcement of a brand new piglet, Evie. This character broke the internet when Mummy Pig appeared on Real World TV to announce that she was pregnant. Then came the special episodes, like the one with the balloon that revealed Evie would be a girl, and the episode showing her birth. Evie also changed the show's opening completely. We see a brand new house, since Daddy Pig built almost a mansion for his kids. And of course, since the family got bigger, the show's intro now places Evie right beside her siblings. College. Now that there's a new little piglet in the family, it's time for the main character to grow up and move on to a new school. At some point, Peppa's going to get older and go to college. But what will she major in? Nobody knows yet, but we've already seen that she dreams of becoming a gamer, so it's probably something related to computers or games. Peppa will definitely be a huge YouTuber, because people would love to watch her gaming live streams. Would you watch Peppa's gameplay videos? The wedding. And as everyone already knows, Peppa is going to marry Pedro Pony. But that leaves people wondering, doesn't it? If Peppa's a pig and Pedro's a pony, how would they have kids? Would Peppa have a baby that's half pig and half pony? Well, honestly, it's possible that they might not have kids at all. Or maybe, in Peppa's world, animals are born in a totally different way. In that case, Peppa could have any kind of kids she wanted. Of course, she's the main character, so everything will always work out for our favorite little pig. But until then, we'll just have to wait a bit longer to see Peppa's future. And while we wait, enjoying it? Then click one of the 2 videos we left on the screen and keep going with us. See you next time!